Tell us a little bit about Cuba Travel Network.
We are Cuba's leading online wholesaler retailer for accommodation, flights and car rental. We operate a proprietary network of websites, but we also are the supplier for main European accommodation companies like Venere, Wired Destinations, and we also do GDS representation.
I see. And how many people would visit your site, or how many bookings would you generate?
Past year, we had about 25,000 travelers through us, and this year we're looking at 35 to 45,000. We're growing rapidly. Where it concerns our wholesale business, it would be a client going into venera.com, for example, and booking 3 nights in Havana, and then 2 nights in Varadero, and maybe another night in Santiago de Cuba, where we also provide the internal flights part. And there are individual clients that don't need a package to find their way across Cuba, and there are people that explore Cuba beyond the resorts and see the real Cuba. So Havana for a couple of days, maybe 4 or 5 days, and then you can go into the countryside to Viñales, which is the tobacco growing area, about 3-4 hours driving from Havana, very safe roads. Varadero is the main package
resort,
destination. And Holguín and Cayo Coco are similar in terms of all-inclusive properties, but definitely going into the countryside and taking a car and driving across the country is becoming more popular, and it should.
Driving, self-drive.
Self-drive, absolutely. Especially popular with North European travelers. About 600,000 travelers from Canada to Cuba, mostly to the resort destinations. The second market, I think, would be UK, with 220,000 or so. And then Spain, Italy, Germany. We're the leading operator from Australia to Cuba. We've had about 1,500 people this year so far, out of approximately 6,000 traveling from Australia to Cuba, and that's an interesting niche. I think the tourism, the non-all-inclusive tourism, is growing, and in fact they're planning on developing properties in the cities. Cuba's a large island, 1,200 kilometers long, and it has a cultural inventory of properties and experiences that is second to none in the Caribbean. I mean, Santo Domingo has its zona colonial, and Puerto Rico, San Juan, of course, but Cuba has that across the island, and even a smaller town like Trinidad or Camagüey or Remedios can compete in terms of cultural heritage with a city like Santo Domingo or San Juan.